Hello viewers, welcome to Big Man Business YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about Ukraine's top 10 imports. Keep watching, we got you covered. Ukraine, a sovereign state in Eastern Europe, exported $49.4 billion in commodities worldwide in 2021. Since 2016, the dollar amount has increased by 35.8%. The value of Ukraine's exports remained constant from 2019 to 2021, despite a minus 0.9% decrease. The Ukrainian hryvnia has fallen by minus 5.5% against the US dollar since 2016, and by minus 4.3% from 2019 to 2020, according to the average exchange rate. Exports paid for in stronger US dollars are significantly less expensive for overseas customers due to Ukraine's weaker local currency. Ukraine's most important trading partners. According to the most recent available country-specific data, mainland China accounts for 14.4% of the global total, Poland with 7%, Russia with 5.5%, Turkey with 4.9%, Germany with 4.2%, India with 4%, Italy with 3.9%, the Netherlands with 3.7%, Egypt with 3.3%, Belarus with 2.7%, Hungary with 2.5%, and Spain with 2.5% bought 58.6% of products exported from Ukraine. In 2021, Ukraine sent $2.7 billion worth of goods to Russia, a decrease of minus 16.5% from 2020. Aluminum oxides, electrical railway or tramway axles and wheels, natural uranium, flat-rolled non-stainless steel products, and hot-rolled U-shaped sections composed of iron or non-alloy steel are among the most significant Ukrainian exports to Russia. Energy-related products, such as processed petroleum oils, coal, and petroleum gas, are Ukraine's largest cash-generating imports, followed by nuclear reactors and parts, and finally new rubber tires. Ukraine's trade deficit for 2021 was minus $1.8 billion, down from minus $3.7 billion the year before. Moving to a continental level, 48.8% of Ukraine's exports were delivered to European countries, while 39.8% were sold to Asian buyers. Another 8.2% of Ukraine's exports went to Africa. North America with 2.3%, Latin America with 0.8% omitting Mexico but including the Caribbean, and Oceania, led by Australia and the Marshall Islands, received smaller percentages of 0.1%. With a population of 41.5 million people, Ukraine's total exports of $49.4 billion in 2022 equates to about $1,200 per person in the Eastern European country. Top 10 exports. At the two-digit HTS code level, the following export product groups constitute the biggest dollar value in Ukrainian global shipments in 2021. The percentage share of each export category in terms of total exports from Ukraine is also indicated. $9.4 billion in cereals account for 19.1% of total exports. $7.7 billion in iron and steel stands at 15.6%. Fats, oils, and waxes from animals and plants, $5.8 billion accounts for 11.7%. $4.4 billion in ore, slag, and ash stands at 9%. $2.5 billion in electrical machinery and equipment accounts for 5.2%. $1.9 billion in machinery, including computers, stands at 3.9%. $1.8 billion in oilseeds account for 3.7%. $1.6 billion in food waste and animal fodder accounts for 3.2%. $1.4 billion in wood stands at 2.9%. $877.8 million in iron and steel articles accounts for 1.8%. In terms of product category, Ukraine's top 10 exports accounted for 75.8% of the total value of its global shipments. The fastest growing export category among the top 10 was ore, slag, and ash, which increased by 23.1% from 2019 to 2021. Animal or vegetable fats, oils, and waxes came in second with a 21.7% increase in export sales. Ukraine's shipments of machinery, including computers, increased by 13.1%, the third fastest increase in value. Oilseeds were the biggest loser among Ukraine's top 10 export categories, with a minus 28.1% reduction year over year. Ukraine's top 10 imports: cars, refined petroleum oils, pharmaceutical mixtures in dose, petroleum gases, coal, phone gadgets including smartphones, and packaged insecticides, fungicides, or herbicides make for more than a quarter or 26.5% of all Ukrainian imports in terms of value. According to the most recent figures, almost 3/5 of Ukraine's total imports by value stands at 60.5% were purchased from European countries. 30.9% of Ukraine's imports came from Asian partners, while 6.2% came from North America. Suppliers from Africa had 1.5%, Latin America got 1.4%, omitting Mexico but including the Caribbean with 1.4%, and Oceania with 0.1%, led by Australia and New Zealand, which contributed smaller percentages. With a population of 41.5 million people, Ukraine's total imports of $54 billion in 2021 equates to nearly $1,300 in annual product demand for each individual in the Eastern European country. Ukraine's top 10 imports: mineral fuels, including oil, are worth $7.8 billion, accounting for 14.4% of total imports. $6.1 billion on machinery, including computers, stands at 11.3%. $5.5 billion in vehicles stands at 10.2%. $5.4 billion in electrical machinery and equipment accounts for 9.9%. $2.52 billion in pharmaceuticals stands at 4.7%. $2.48 billion in plastics and plastic goods account for 4.6%. $1.3 billion in other chemical goods stands at 2.5%. $1.2 billion in optical, technical, and medical equipment accounts for 2.3%. $1 billion in iron and steel stands at 1.9%. $927.6 million in rubber and rubber products stand at 1.7%. Ukraine's top 10 imports accounted for nearly two-thirds of the total value of its goods acquisitions from other nations, which is 63.5%. Optical, technical, and medical apparatus is the fastest growing category among Ukraine's top import categories, with a gain of 18.4% from 2019 to 2021. The pharmaceuticals category was the second fastest gainer, up 17.7%, followed by a 0.4% increase in Ukraine's imports of miscellaneous chemical items. Mineral fuels, including oil, posted the steepest decline year over year due to a minus 36.3% drop. Ukraine's top trading partners. In 2020, Ukraine exported $47.4 billion worth of goods around the world. As of February 9, 2021, that statistic accounted for around 0.3% of total global exports, which were valued at $17.546 trillion. By value, 55.8% of Ukrainian exports went to European countries, while 31.7% went to Asian buyers, according to a Continental Lens. Ukraine exported 8.7% of its total exports to Africa. North America got 2.8%, Latin America got 0.6%, excluding Mexico but including the Caribbean with 0.6%, and Oceania with 0.1%, which includes Australia and the Marshall Islands, received smaller percentages. Here is a list of 15 of Ukraine's largest import partners, or the countries that imported the most Ukrainian shipments in terms of dollar value in 2020. The percentage of total Ukrainian exports for each import nation is also indicated. Russia, $3.7 billion, accounts for 7.7% of total Ukrainian exports. $3.3 billion for Poland stands at 6.9%. $2.6 billion in Italy accounts for 5.6%. $2.4 billion for Turkey is 5%. $2.2 billion in Germany stands at 4.7%. $2.2 billion in China accounts for 4.7%. $2.2 billion for India stands at 4.6%. Hungary with $1.6 billion is 3.5%. $1.6 billion in the Netherlands equates 3.4%. $1.6 billion for Egypt stands at 3.3%. $1.4 billion for Spain is 2.9%. Belarus with $1.3 billion stands at 2.8%. $1.1 billion in the United States stands at 2.4%. Romania with $934.1 million accounts for 2%. $878.4 million in Czech Republic stands at 1.9%. In 2018, the previously mentioned 15 trading partners accounted for over two-thirds or 61% of Ukrainian exports. Year-over-year increases in export sales varied from 3.6% in China to 33.5% in the United States. Egypt was the leading importer that reduced its purchases from Ukraine by -15% from 2017 and 2018. Thanks for watching this video. We are open to suggestions. Kindly drop your comments in the comment box and don't forget to subscribe to the Big Man Business YouTube channel. See you in the next video.